Hey everyone, my name is Jameson. The topic I chose to talk about is evolution. Specifically, I like the TED Talk that we watched about the five fingers or the five reasons of the whys behind evolution, or I guess changes in the gene pool. So to start off, the pinky finger, that one represents like the population shrinking. You know, if the population shrinks, that could change the frequency of certain genes in the gene pool. The ring finger, as you can remember of it, like ring people like mating. And so it's like if redheads choose to only get married with redheads, then, you know, obviously they're going to have redheaded children and things like that. Or if nobody chooses to have kids with redheads, then nobody's going to have red hair. So that can cause a change in frequency. The gene pool, the middle finger, is mutation. So like if there's a new hair color introduced, like a yellow hair color introduced into the gene pool, you know, that would cause a different frequency of mutations. The pointer finger is moving. So like if more people move into the area or more people move out of the area, obviously that's going to change the frequency of a certain gene in the gene pool. And then the thumb, which is the only one that causes like a little bit of adaptation, is like the survival of the fittest. And so I just thought those were all interesting because, I mean, obviously certain genes do better in certain areas. One example they gave in the video was how like having red hair and fairer skin is beneficial up in the north because they are exposed to less sunlight and they're able to absorb more vitamin D. But obviously in like southern countries around the equator, that wouldn't be a benefit, and that would lead to cancer or like more. And I think evolution relates to the changes that are made in the church. You know, obviously the gospel itself never changes. You know, God always will love us, Christ will always love us, and we'll have to keep the commandments, you know, to prosper in this life and then the one that comes. But I think, you know, we've had changes in this church that have benefited the members. You know, one change that I love is the 2-hour Sundays instead of 3. You know, I think we all can say that we like the 2 hours of church now better. And, you know, I'm sure there's plentiful of other changes that have happened throughout the years in the church, you know, that have benefited the world. And each change that is made is under the direction of God and is for our benefit and for the benefit of his plan that he has for us. And so I just kind of like how evolution ties into that.